Time now for Morning Rounds with CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Jon LaPook and CBS News contributor Dr. Holly Phillips. First up, a little pink pill designed to boost a woman's sexual desire is one step closer to FDA approval. An advisory panel recommended the agency approve the drug, but questions remain about its safety and effectiveness. John, the panel voted 18-6 to approve, but there are strings attached. What are the concerns here?
Well, they really struggled with this, even agonized over the decision, because they said, well, the benefits were kind of modest, and there were some significant side effects that they were worried about: dizziness, sleepiness, and when used with alcohol, fainting. So they're approving it, but sort of with an asterisk.
It was only a matter of time when they started calling it the little pink pill before people started calling it female Viagra. Is that an accurate way to look at this drug?
No, not at all. This is not Viagra. It is a completely different drug, and it acts in a completely different way. So Viagra treats specifically erectile dysfunction. It affects the blood circulation, but it has never been shown to increase sex drive. This drug actually acts on the brain, on neurotransmitters in the brain, and is supposed to increase sexual desire. They're completely different drugs.
So what's next for this pill, Jonathan?
Well, you have to remember the context of this is it's been very politicized. It was rejected twice before, and now it's being approved or recommended for approval on the third try. Right. The FDA is going to take a look at this over the next few months. This is in the setting of people accusing it the FDA of being sexist, saying, you know, there's a pill for men, why isn't there a pill for women? But again, as Holly said, you know, there has actually never been an FDA-approved drug to treat decreased libido. This would be the first, and we should hear from the FDA by August.
Yeah, and you know what's so important, women do deserve a pill to help to improve their libido, but one that's safe and one that works.
And
so
of course, the other issue, as we've talked before, is it's so complicated. When you're talking about treating erectile dysfunction, it's relatively simple. Yep. When you talk about decreased libido, the issues above the neck, you have psychology, you have your medical history. Do you get enough sleep? How are you feeling? How's your relationship with your spouse? What was your day like? So many different factors.
We're women. We're complicated. A new government survey uncovered some startling statistics about alcohol use in the United States. So what did this survey say? Right.
So this survey looked specifically at alcohol use disorder, which includes both alcohol dependence and alcohol abuse, and the whole range of severity among that, from very mild symptoms to very severe. And ultimately, the take-home was that many more Americans are affected with the disorder than we previously thought. Within a one-year period, about 14% of Americans suffer from alcohol use disorder, and over their lifetime, about 30% will have problems with alcohol. And what's most striking to me about the survey is that a huge number of people will never get any treatment.
Well, what are researchers suggesting we do about this, John?
Well, I'll tell you what, the one takeaway message I got from the article was that we have to, as physicians, really pay more attention to it, be more aware, and we've got to try to remove the stigma. I think really doctors haven't been good enough about taking the alcohol history. It shouldn't be that your patient has alcohol abuse if he or she drinks more than you do. Mm-hmm. It should be that, you know, and I think a lot of doctors bring their own issues to the table here. People need to know that there are things that can be done. There are 12-step programs, there are medications, there are all sorts of ways, therapy, biofeedback. There's a lot of ways that people can help decrease their drinking. And I think it's up to the doctors, really, to take the lead with this.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think in terms of destigmatization, we should look at alcohol use disorders, alcohol abuse as medical conditions, not necessarily, this isn't a moral thing of, oh, you're making a choice. It's a medical condition, there are genetics involved, and everyone deserves treatment.
Well, next up, researchers say new technology using a single drop of blood can identify any viral infection you have ever had. Scientists report the new method provides a more efficient, unbiased approach that could help doctors uncover hidden factors affecting a patient's health.
I think what was interesting about this is it's more about the microbiome. We talk about the trillions of bacteria. There are a lot of viruses that are infecting us also, and then they stay with us. And some of them are latent, meaning that they're still alive, waiting to come out. One very interesting thing that they mentioned in the article is that there's evidence in lab animals that if you've been infected with herpes virus, herpes simplex, which is the cold sore virus, that may actually protect you against future infections with bacteria by boosting your immune system. So there's a lot we have to learn about this.
Finally, if you're tired of feeling tired, here's a wake-up call. Nearly 1/3 of American adults report they are regularly fatigued. Our own Dr. Holly Phillips offers a plan to help people restore their energy in her new book, The Exhaustion Breakthrough. I think, Holly, this is something we've all been waiting for. But what brought you to write about this issue?
Yeah, I think my patients were really my biggest inspiration. I have to say, fatigue is by far the #1 daily health challenge I see people facing, especially women in my practice. So much so that I say we're living in an epidemic of exhaustion. So many people have built nice, big, full lives that they should be enjoying, and they almost feel like the price they have to pay for that is being so tired they can't enjoy it. So in the Exhaustion Breakthrough, I researched and I included hundreds of hidden medical and other causes of fatigue so that you can help to uncover what's making you exhausted.
What I also love about the book is it's personal. You talk about your own struggles with exhaustion starting in medical school.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is so hard for us to diagnose and then to treat?
It is actually quite autobiographical. I was wiped out completely for 20 years straight. And ironically, it's true. Even though I was surrounded by doctors and I could get the best medical care, it still took a long time to get to the bottom of it. I think there are a couple of challenges within medicine itself to diagnosing what's causing fatigue. One is that patients don't always tell you they're fatigued, right? Patients might come in and say, oh, my left knee hurts, but fail to mention that they can barely stay awake from morning to night.
They think it's normal.
Yeah.
Exactly. They've sort of accepted fatigue as their fate. The other thing is that fatigue is a symptom of almost every medical illness. John, I don't know if you can think of one that it's not on the list.
Yeah.
I have trouble doing that. So I think the list of possible causes is so daunting that sometimes it gets swept under the rug.
Well, I mean, to John's point here that people think it's normal, I mean, people sort of have come to accept it as a fact of modern life. But what you say in the book is that it doesn't have to be the case.
Yeah.
So how do you fight it?
Very much so. I hope that the book ultimately changes the conversation around fatigue, right? So that we no longer accept fatigue as our fate and we take control of our energy levels. One section of the book that I have is called the 7-Day Exhaustion Breakthrough Challenge. It helps you look at a bunch of different, just simple lifestyle tweaks you can make to improve your energy, from diet to decreasing stress levels, to even having a symptom checklist where you can look for hidden medical causes. But ultimately, I just really hope the book empowers people to know we shouldn't feel this way, we shouldn't accept it, and we can change it.
Holly's book, The Exhaustion Breakthrough, is on sale now. Dr. Holly Phillips and Dr. Jon LaPook, thank you both very much.